Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And this is going to be the longer video, so make sure you guys know the deal. Grab your snacks, popcorn, tea, coffee, dinner, whatever it is. Make sure you guys grab it, and let's get right into it. So we finally got the official article from T-Mobile. From big cities to small towns and places in between, T-Mobile customers are getting a massive 5G boost. So the Auction 108 license, as I told you guys a few videos ago, have already been officially transferred to T-Mobile, and T-Mobile wasted no time deploying it. It's already being effectively deployed, and they are saying most of this will be on air within days, not weeks, not months. They're saying within days. So I want to make this very clear. A lot of people are already asking once again, this is not a coverage boost. Midband is not a coverage boost. So get that out of your heads right away. Areas that have no service today will still have no service. There needs to be material towers and radios deployed to get a coverage boost. And that leads me to my next point. There are still going to be counties, areas of the country today that also got Auction 108 licenses, but T-Mobile will still have to deploy towers in those areas. That is still going to be the case. There are about between 10 to 11,000 sites today that already have 2.5 deployed. So T-Mobile already spent that capital to deploy those radios on those towers. So those will be immediately getting that massive 5G boost. But some areas, and those are very, very rural areas that T-Mobile also got Auction 108 license for, but they need to deploy more sites in those areas. And I think T-Mobile will deploy new towers in some of those areas, but they're not going to go to 320, 330 million pops with midband. I just don't see them having the incentive to do so. There in a lot of those areas, there isn't enough return on investment to go and deploy. Yeah, you can get some people, but is getting like 20, 25 households on FWA enough to deploy a, $150,000 tower? I just don't know if that's worth it. Verizon recently said that it's not worth it for them. There are going to be some areas that they won't deploy because there is no return on investment. And I'm assuming it's going to be the same for T-Mobile. AT&T, again, that's a different story because they receive reimbursements. So they have incentive to go and deploy because of those reimbursements. So totally different for AT&T. Now, T-Mobile, a massive benefit, a massive boost. Cable, you better wake up and smell the coffee because you're getting ready to get hit like with a freight train. I mean, T-Mobile's coming for you. And that's where majority of their customers are coming from anyway for FWA. They disclosed that at the conference yesterday, Morgan Stanley, that still to this day, majority of customers are coming from cable. So Charter, Xfinity, Spectrum, whatever you want to call it, in those areas that you spent your capital dollars to deploying in those rural environments, get ready. Get ready because T-Mobile just got a big spectrum boost, and they're going to attack in those areas like they did in the top 100 markets. And T-Mobile made it very clear yesterday they want to continue growing. And this spectrum will allow them to continue to grow. Now, again, the top 100 markets, that's a different story. That's where T-Mobile is going to attack with the C-band and the DoD. When they feel the need, hey, we want to grow, we think we can grow, well, here's more mid-band, go ahead and continue to grow. But that's mostly inside of the top 100 markets where Auction 108 really didn't play a big role. That's mostly for white spaces and rural areas. So that's going to be what they use to grow FWA in those areas is the C-band and the DoD. They're going to use that. They're going to do some of that this year. I'm thinking more of that will be deployed next year, and that's where they go and attack in the top 100 markets. That's a bit of a different video for that, because I think the ultimate goal is to deploy fiber to the home in the top 100 markets. FWA, I think, will only take you so far. Like, if we're talking 10 years down the road, are you still going to be able to support that same base? You know, that's probably not the case. You want to eventually transition more over to fixed to fiber to the home, and T-Mobile made that clear yesterday that they are going to do that. The pilot program was successful, and now they want to transition over to more of a bigger play. Still capital light, but they are gonna do something bigger in terms of partnership than they have in the past. So Auction 108, great for the company, insanely great from a mobility perspective. This is a big threat to Verizon and AT&T. A big threat. I mean, it's the biggest threat that Verizon and AT&T will have ever faced in those parts, in those white spaces, those rural areas in the last 20 years. And from a future outlook perspective, they will never ever face another competitor as fierce as T-Mobile in those areas, unless something out of the ordinary happens, something like, you know, Amazon buying Dish and putting $30 billion into the network all at once, like a cash influx. You won't see another company that's a bigger threat to Verizon and AT&T than T-Mobile in those parts. Now, of course, they still got some tweaking. They still got some work to do. They still got some towers to build, but they're truck rolling, and they're doing that. This year, by the end of this year, more areas will have new T-Mobile coverage. By the end of 2025, more new areas will have new coverage from T-Mobile, and so on and so forth. You guys catch my drift. They will deploy smartly, strategically, and they will use this Auction 108 spectrum, of course, to their advantage. They're going to go in those areas eventually at some point where they don't cover today, but they got now new spectrum. So they're evaluating. They're looking at, okay, can we move towards this small town? We now got Auction 108. We got 2.5, but we don't have any towers. So let's go ahead and attack that, right? Let's build sites. Let's get that going. Let's get the license to win. Then we build out retail distribution. We can do our own stores. We can do partnerships. We're now in Sam's Club. So that's how they're going to look at that. And I think it's very smart of them to do so. It's a very smart strategic play. And I think they need to continue just going down that path. Their execution is great. It's top notch. Their marketing is great. And they just need to continue growing. Like I said, cable, they better wake up and smell the coffee. If I'm cable right now, I'm in meetings. I'm meeting with the board. I'm bringing all my executives. And if I'm the lead, right? If I'm the CEO, I got to tell them, hey, look, we need to open these books. And we need to look at this stuff quickly, because this is not going to be good for our business. FWA killed us. Let's call it what it is, right? 4 years in, it's killing us in the top 100 markets. It's simple. Cable has no answer for this right now. So now they're moving into other territory very quickly. So now if I'm cable, again, I got to make changes. You have to make changes, and you got to make changes now. And I'm speaking specifically about Charter, because they had the biggest ambition so far going into those rural environments with new deployments. They have to make the biggest shift, in my opinion. The second year price increase, that's got to go now. Done. Get that over with. Put a simple price, a one price, like for each tier. Make it one price, keep it at that price, include the rental fees for the router in that price. Don't charge separately, and you move on. You bring new marketing. Stop bashing T-Mobile. Let's not do that anymore, because you're giving them free publicity. Get that out of your system. The bashing has not worked. You don't have You don't have the right leadership in place to really push that. So get that out of your system. Don't do that no more, right? And I don't want to give away too many ideas, but cable has to answer. T-Mobile is fierce, and T-Mobile has not even been like super competitive, right? If you look at Verizon, they're giving away Nintendo Switches, they're giving away laptops, $200 gift cards. T-Mobile's just doing one $200 gift card, and they're paying off ETF fees. That's all T-Mobile's doing. So T-Mobile's competitive. Auction 108 will make them more competitive. It will make them more confident as it comes to enterprise factories in those rural environments. I'm telling you guys right now, T-Mobile is going to be very, very confident when they're more confident when they're approaching the CIOs. They're not going to be very confident in these discussions, and they're going to say, look, we are a big player. We have the assets. We can now support your mission. That's how T-Mobile is going to approach this. And then they're going to say, if you don't believe us, test it out. The CIOs are going to test it, and they're going to like it. T-Mobile is still going to come in cheaper. Let's not kid ourselves. They're saying, oh, we're not the pricing choice on some of those customers that we're getting from enterprise, but they can undercut. They don't have to do it by a lot, but they will in some cases still be cheaper, coming in cheaper on those quotes than Verizon and AT&T. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is the longer video. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you've already seen a boost in speed from the Auction 108 Spectrum. Let us all know in the comment section down below. Let us also know, right? Let us know if the speed boost, if you checked availability on the tool, on the home internet tool, if you now see availability. Let us know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.